Hey, what's up, nerds? My name is Tylersalt. Thank you, Nissan, for having me. This is Octopath Traveler. All female character stories, all women, all the ladies. If you're not familiar with Octopath Traveler, this is a JRPG developed by Squaresoft. It was released 8 years ago this year, actually. There have been a couple sequels now. But there are 8 playable characters in Octopath, and this category is that we are going to be recruiting only the 4 women. Hannet the Hunter, Tressa the Merchant, Ophelia the Cleric, and Primrose the Dancer. And then we will complete all of their stories, all 4 of each of their chapters. Yeah, so let's get to it. I will do my best to game a bit loud. All right. Always happens in Alphen 3 run. Wow, what did Alphen ever do to you? Perfect. Excellent. All right. We are going to start with Hannet, the Hunter, which is fun because this was my starting character when I played this game casually for the first time. I love this game. I love the visuals. I love the soundtrack. Enjoy the vibes for this whole run. It is very, very fun. I'll try to give you as much story info as we can get. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off. We start with Hannet. She is a hunter. Her master, Zanta, has left to hunt a fearsome beast called Red Eye and has now been gone for a long time. We're going to start right off by selling some olives of life so that we can buy a stronger bow for Hannet. We're going to equip it immediately, and then we're going to go talk to here. We can skip every cutscene, which is nice. And we're going to immediately get our introduction to Hannet's path action, which is Provoke. We can start fights with people. We'll use this a couple of times. I'm going to teach these young whippersnappers a lesson. Hannet's special ability is she's a Pokemon trainer. She can capture monsters out in the world and then use them in battle. We won't be doing that a whole lot. You'll see a little bit in this chapter and then never again. But each character has a path action that allows you to interact with NPCs in a certain way. Do this. You get a little bit of the battle system here. The battle system in Octopath is organized around boosts and shields. Boosts and shields and breaks. So you can boost attacks by spending your boost points. That you gain 1 boost point in any turn, at the beginning of any turn after a turn where you didn't use one. And then each monster has a certain number of shields and certain weaknesses. They're weak to different types of weapons or different elements. And so if you hit an enemy with that weapon or element, they lose a shield. If you break all of the shields, then they break, like this. It's caught by surprise, naturally. Great start. This guy's weak to bow, so you can see it breaks. Now all attacks will do double damage, or importantly, I can run away for free. And I will be doing that a lot. This guy is weak to axe. Each class is proficient with a couple different weapons. Hunters with bow and axe, so that's what Hannet will start with. We've been asked by the local lord to hunt the fearsome Gisarm, who has killed a bunch of people in the woods here. We're going to do our one and only capture of the run. Coming up right about here. There it is. So we're going to use this guy against the Chapter 1 boss here coming up in a second. We break. Use twice, Beast Lore, capture. Yes. We're gonna use this against the boss in just a second. This fight is more or less scripted, with some wiggle room around when you need to heal, if at all. One of those. Can we get a blind proc? Probably not. I'm gonna need to heal. That's 2. No blind. Get a hit in here. Oh, there's a blind. Meat. Can we get a miss? Of course not. Alright, True Strike +2. This is why we get that extra bow, or that stronger bow, is so we can do enough damage in this fight. There we go. One of these. One of these. Then Rain of Arrows. This was guaranteed to hit 3 times. So we break, and then one last fully boosted True Strike. And that should do it. And that is Honet's Chapter 1. Honet decides to go off after Zonta, after Zonta's animal companion, a wolf named Hagen, comes back, and we know that we last heard from Zonta in the town of Stoneguard in the Highlands. So that is going to be Honet's first stop. But before that, we're going to do a bunch of errands. A hallmark of any Octopath speedrun is going around and doing a bunch of errands. First off, we're gonna get a skill called Evasive Maneuvers after we find the Scholar Shrine. We don't have access to a natural scholar in this run because Cyrus is a dude. And so we're gonna get Evasive Maneuvers, which drastically cuts down our random encounter rate on the overworld. That's gonna be our first stop here. How did I end up running this game? I fell in love with this game when I played it casually a couple years ago. Are dudes banned or just slowed? Banned in this category. This category is all women. I loved this game casually and then saw some of the speedruns, and they are extremely accessible to pick up and play. And so I started with Ophelia single story and have branched out to this. We're mostly going to be running away from these. There are going to be some encounters that we are going to take and kill. We need a total of 130 JP on Hanet in order to learn evasive maneuvers. And so we're going to be doing our kind of one and only little kind of mini grind in this section here. Yeah, the visuals and the soundtrack in both this game and its sequel, and probably Zero too, but I haven't played it. All right, we can kill this guy. These guys are worth enough JP and are easy enough to kill that they're worth it here. Yeah, the autosave, yeah, that's right, Josh. The autosave is very forgiving. Basically autosaves on every screen transition. So even though there's pretty brutal RNG in this game. Nice, good. Even if you take a death, you don't lose a ton of time. So yeah, like I said, first hallmark of Octopath speedrunning is going to be getting evasive maneuvers as quickly as possible. The second one is running around. We need evasive maneuvers so that we can spend a bunch of time running around in some pretty high level areas so that we can get we can open a bunch of chests that have a lot of money in them and a lot of soul stones in them. Soul stones do a fixed amount of elemental damage. They're consumable items that you throw in battle. whereas money is going to be used for a merchant skill called Hired Help, which is the strongest skill in the run, probably the strongest skill in the game, which basically is just pay to win. So we're gonna need a bunch of money for that. That skill is going to carry us for a long time. All right, good. We got 2 extra foxes, which is nice. I could be running away from all of these, but just for... We're going to get the bulk of our JP for evasive maneuvers probably in an area called the Whistlewood. And the most common encounter that you can get in the Whistlewood doesn't actually give you enough JP to learn evasive maneuvers on its own. So in order to kind of counteract that, I'm taking a couple extra encounters, or killing a couple of extra encounters in here. Want to make sure. I think that's good. I think we're good. Here we're gonna have another way that we're gonna be doing a lot of manipulating the random encounter rate. We don't have evasive maneuvers yet. The one thing that resets our step counter on any screen is to provoke somebody. So we're gonna start a fight with this guy and then immediately run away a couple of times. We do this because if we take a random encounter on this screen, we die, and it is simple as that. Unless we get really lucky and get surprised. This is our first shrine. This is the Shrine of the Scholar King, where we get the Scholar class. Everybody has their prime class, and then you can have one additional member of any class that you've gone to a shrine. Now we can have one scholar in the party as a secondary job, which we're immediately going to switch Hanet over to a scholar. We're going to learn Lightning Blast, and then we're going to get out of here. Which subclass do you think is best? I mean, it's Merchant for sure. Merchants are just really OP, but I think more than which is best, it's what you really need is a good party composition. You need a really good balance of things. So in this run, we're gonna pick up, I think, 5 of the classes. We're gonna have Tressa is gonna be our primary scholar for the run. Hanet is gonna be an apothecary. Ophelia is gonna be a thief. And Primrose is going to be a merchant. But we'll also pick up the Warrior Shrine, because we'll need a couple of that. All right, there's our first Soul Stone. We're also going to make our first little fast travel here back to the town that we just tagged to avoid a random encounter. This is tight. See, all right, there you go. My movement was not super clean there, so I'm not super surprised we got this. Yeah, all right, so these guys are gonna kill me, but you'll see it will have immediately auto-saved right back in Noble Course. We'll just be able to try again. Which class is the worst? I mean, they're all good. They all have their utility. Probably the least damage output is probably Dancer. But certainly in a full game run, you use all of them and they all have utility. If you're doing like Galdera or something like that, the run that fights the optional super boss at the end. Okay, so we picked up that Soul Stone there, that light medium Soul Stone. Because we're going to need that to kill an encounter here in the Whistlewood to get us to evasive maneuvers. Unless we get a Kate. I got a Kate in my practice last night. No, of course not. We're just going to kill these, I think. Now we'll run away. I need to use a plum. I might need to take one more encounter. We'll see which encounter I get. Have this money. No surprise. Hey. Okay, there we go. Show me 100. Oh, not even close. Okay, that's fine. I thought we had enough. All right, that's fine. We'll take in a couple encounters on our way down to Ripple-Tide. So our next stop is Ripple-Tide, which is Tressa's hometown. We're not going to recruit her just yet, since we needed to go to the Whistlewood. We do need to get a large soul stone, but we need evasive maneuvers before we can get it. So we're going to go tag there, tag that, and then... oh, shoot. Oh, should I... We need evasive maneuvers before we can get that large soul stone, which we need in order to beat Tressa's Chapter 1. But we're going to go tag Ripple-Tide, and then go get it. So we can fast travel back there. And use another plum, probably. Alright. Hopefully just 2 more. Hopefully not many more of those birds. That would be ideal. This is gonna be kind of slow. Oh, all right. One more encounter. That's fine. Needs to be on this screen, though, so we're going to have to force it. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. That is 100 JP on Han. That is evasive maneuvers. We are in business. There we go. Okay. That is our only grind of the run. We will take a couple encounters here and there. But, alright, so there's Ripple-Tide. We're going to go run back up to Noble Court here. We're going to go into a high-level area called the Forest of Purgation up on the next screen, which we wouldn't be able to reach or survive without evasive maneuvers. Because there's a bunch of money and a large light soul stone in there. Isn't it risky not to grind more? Listen, we're speedrunners, right? We gotta go fast. That's what they say. We got plenty of resources. We'll be fine. All right. Light large, which we'll use on the Tressa 1 boss. Okay, back to Ripple-Tide for Tressa. Tressa is a merchant. She dreams of traveling the world and making her fortune, but some pirates have robbed her village. And so we're gonna go take care of them by drugging their wine. Important skip? No. We don't want to hear the beginning of Tressa's chapter 1. Were the pirates looking for the One Piece? Probably. It is almost guaranteed that you get an encounter on this screen. The other day, came agonizingly close to skipping it. Like, I was frames away from the screen transition. Bad turn order there. If Tressa goes first, you can just attack with the spear and break this guy. But it doesn't matter. It's fine. I'm sad that we don't hear that song more in the speedrun. It's called How Amusing! Exclamation points. And it's just a bop, but we really only hear it for that small little moment. What means the danger level? The danger level is the game's kind of estimation of what like average level your party should be to survive the encounters in that area. We are going to completely ignore that through the use of evasive maneuvers and some clever encounter rate manipulation. Thank you for having me, Nissan. All right, this is Mick and Mac. Say hello, Mick and Mac. Say bye, Mick and Mac. So we defeat them, but the other pirates wake up, but we're rescued by the legendary merchant Leon, this guy. He offers us a present from his ship, and Tressa ends up taking an anonymous merchant's journal that she reads. She's kind of taken by it. It speaks to her, and the journal tells of this anonymous merchant's travels across the world, and so she decides to follow in his footsteps. So we get Tressa first, because Tressa's passive skill is called Eye for Money. And so every time we enter a screen with Tressa, or just about every time we enter a screen with Tressa, you'll see up at the top of the screen, Tressa found a certain amount of money from an unfortunate soul. So we're robbing corpses as we go along. By that extra money that we get over the next big chunk of errands that we're running, add up, and we need a lot of money in this run. So this is the longest uninterrupted stretch of errands in the run. So we're going to be running around tagging a bunch of places, getting some shrines, and picking up a lot of money and some soul stones here, all before we go to recruit Ophelia next. Picking up the warrior shrine. We will use warrior a couple of times in battles, but much more important, and it is important those times that we need it, but warriors learn a skill called cover, which is going to be very important for us in the late game. Yeah, this is where Nissan would be reading donations, exactly, as we run around. All right, we're headed to Stoneguard here. Stoneguard is where Zonta was last seen, so this is where Honet's Chapter 2 takes place. And so we're going to come in here. We're going to start Honet's Chapter 2. We're going to skip this cutscene. And then we're going to leave. And we'll do that later. It'll be fine. Little bit of a meme in the Octopath community. We tend to start a lot of Chapter 2, and do a little safety save here. We tend to start a couple of Chapter 2s and Chapter 3s, and then warp out and go back and do them again, like finish them later, because it's faster to do so. Nice. Okay, we made it. Very easy to get an encounter there, which is why I saved, to make sure that we didn't get more than one total. All right, here is our first instance of a save and quit. Saving the game doesn't reset your counters, but returning to the title screen does. So we're going to do that a couple of times to reset our encounters on a screen. We're going to do this so that we can make it over to the Merchant Shrine unmolested. We'll do that a few times. I love this screen. It's so pretty. Okay, the Shrine of the Trader. This is the Merchant Shrine. Merchants are so broken because of this skill called Hired Help. Hired Help, a skill so good that in Octopath Traveler 2, they made it better for some reason. Yeah, but basically every screen that we're going to be traveling in for the next, like, I don't know, 15 minutes, 12 minutes. If we get caught in a random encounter, we're just dead. So the movement is pretty okay for the most part. Hopefully we won't run into it too much. Good. This is Gold Shore. We'll be back here for Ophi's Chapter 3. We're going to pick up a couple extra soul stones and chests along the way for... Oh, wow! That is so early! Oh, man. I disagree. Alright. It's fine. It's fine. That was so early. I strongly disagree. But again, luckily this game has very lenient auto-saving. So you can see we're right back here at Gold Shore before our last screen transition. If you're going to run this game, you've got to be comfortable with some RNG. It's just part and parcel with it. Oh no, you died. So we're going to manipulate this a little bit here. We're going to use that screen transition to pick up this extra large wind soul stone. Then we're going to run back over here. I wouldn't normally get this extra thunder medium, but we'll get it today for marathon safety. Some money. Another save and quit here. You ran from the bathroom. This is the most chill part of the run. So most of Octopath Traveler runs, this one is no exception, are divided up into the kind of early game where we're recruiting our characters and running around and picking up a bunch of items and money, and then just a boss rush at the end. So this is the most chill part of the run for sure. Oh, I disagree with that too. Yep. Usually if I get that encounter, it's like right before the screen transition. That was so hella early. Oh no, you died. this is Grandport. We'll be back here a couple of times. We're gonna do a shopping trip for, back here later once we have a little bit more money. And then we'll come back there for Tressa's Chapter 4 near the end of the run. And over here to this little dungeon area, the Loch of the Lost King. Pick up another soul stone and another money chest. All right, and now we're going to warp back to Stoneguard, which is where Honet's Chapter 2 takes place. And we're going to leave. All right, we're now going to make our way over to Everhold in the Highlands. Everhold is where Primrose's Chapter 4 takes place, featuring Simeon, the hardest boss in the run by far. Is the boss that I practiced to warm up before the run started today. There's some good stuff over here. We're also going to go into the Everhold tunnels after we tag the town, because there are a couple good, a couple big chests in there that we need, including an axe that we're going to give Honet that's going to be very useful for most of the rest of the run. That was a light large. Oops. I started using a little tracker for my soul stones, because I got tired of like going into my menu to count how many soul stones I had of which types every time. So now I've got a website with like a bunch of different counters to count the medium and large soul stones that I have of each element. You've heard Simeon isn't a very nice fella. Simeon sucks. Sucks as a person and sucks as a boss fight. That place seems nice. Oh my god. It's fine. There isn't a step route per se for this, like there is for something like Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy VIII or various other ones. But there is like a kind of similar mechanic around danger, but it's about the distance that you travel rather than the number of steps that you take. Okay. We're going to use another way or the one and only instance of another way to manipulate your encounter rate here. At the end of these kind of optional dungeon areas, there are sometimes very strong bosses that will pop up a little dialogue box. And if you say no to it, it resets your encounter rate. So we're going to do that twice here to make sure that we can get this chest with 35,000 leaves in it. And then do it again. Go pick up the Death Cleaver. And then we're gonna warp back to Stoneguard, which is where Honet's Chapter 2 takes place. Yo, Big Chicknator, thanks for good luck. And we're gonna leave immediately. All right. Our next stop is Marceline in the Sunlands. Death Cleaver was your nickname in high school. Press X to doubt. That would be pretty sick, though. Marceline in the Sunlands is where Honet's Chapter 4 takes place. So it will be our final stop in the game. We start with Honet and we end with Honet because when you... when you complete the Chapter 4 of your starting character, there is an unskippable 8-minute credit sequence. Which is a nice break in a run like Galdera, but we don't want that in a run like this. So we're just gonna do Honet last. Yo, Gamma, thank you for the good luck. We're gonna have the first instance of Tressa's path action, which is purchase. Most NPCs have some items on them that Therian can steal or Tressa can buy. And so here in this high level area, we're gonna buy a bunch of good stuff. From these two guards. We're gonna buy these pomegranates, which let us restore BP in battle. And then we're going to buy all 3 of these stones, fire, wind, and shadow. Fire, wind, and shadow. We're going to get these 3 chests, some money, and some armor, and a hat. And then we're going to go back to Stoneguard, which is where Honet's Chapter 2 takes place. And we're going to leave. All right, we're done with warping to Stoneguard, where Honet's Chapter 2 takes place for a while. Now we're gonna make our way west. We're gonna head to our next real destination is Quarry Crest in the Clifflands, which is where Tressa's Chapter 2 takes place, which we're actually going to not only start, but do a little bit of right now. Along the way, we're going to tag Sunshade, which is where Primrose is. But sometimes a reason why we will start a quest and then leave and come back and do the rest of the chapter later is because, for instance, in Tressa's Chapter 2, once you start the quest, it takes you not to the first screen of Quarry Crest, but to the second one. And so we'll do the stuff that happens on the second one there. And then we get transported back to the first one. And then we'll go back to the second one, but then we don't want to go back to the first one again. So instead of doing the rest of the chapter then, we will warp out and then we'll come back and do that much later when it will be faster to do. There's Alphen up there later. And by later, I mean not in this run, buddy. Can we skip this encounter? Maybe. Nope, that's fine. We can run from this one probably. Nice surprise. Thanks, video game. Really appreciate it. Oh, come on. This is a first circuit area though, so it's fine. Oh, this area is so beautiful. Get your jam emotes ready, because Quarry Crest has the same music that Boulderfall does. The best track in the game. Certainly the best town music in the game. So this is the mining town. It's run by an asshole who is exploiting the laborers here. Tressa, this is the first stop in her merchant's journal. She is gonna find some stones here that this person has, a nondescript stone, and then she's gonna buy it from them for 500 leaves. Grandport, another great song, yeah. And she's gonna polish them up and make them all shiny and sell them for a profit. Commerce. Okay, medium thunder and a large thunder. No, I do not, Amuleth. Nondescript stone and a medium shadow. Medium fire and a medium light. Shadow, fire, light. Okay, now we're gonna leave. Go back to Noble Court here for just a second. Fire, light, shadow. We are going to buy this bracelet from this kid, which is a big HP plus, and it's finally time to recruit Ophelia. Ophelia is a cleric. Her adopted sister, Liana, has been preparing to go on a religious pilgrimage called the Kindling, where she goes and relights the torches with the sacred flame. But their adopted father, Joseph the Archbishop, has fallen ill, and so Ophelia takes it upon herself to go in Liana's stead. So optimize, bracelet, and then swap Honnet and Tressa, and we go. Yo, I'm glad everybody's having a good time. It's too bad, like, if you have not played these games casually, that is a rare encounter. That's kind of wild. I highly recommend it. They are on a ton of different platforms. I'm playing on Switch because that happens to be what I own it on. But they're all out on PC. And they play great on PC. I highly recommend playing these games casually. The writing is great. The voice acting is great in both Japanese and English. Normally I would do this with English, but since we start with Honnet's English voice acting takes a long time, and since she is our main character here, it adds a lot of time. Okay. Shadow L, Wind L. And goodbye. Okay, we get the Ember of the First Flame. We learn from Joseph here that he is actually much more ill than he has let on to Liana. We have one more stop to make here. Gotta purchase an additional medium soul stone from this person. All right, we're back to Quarry Crest here, which is where Tress's chapter 2 takes place. We were just here, and we're gonna leave. We got one more shrine to pick up. We got two more shrines to pick up, but we have a shrine that we're gonna pick up right now, the Thief Shrine. Ophelia, our cleric, is going to be our main thief for most of the run. Other characters are going to learn some thief skills, but importantly, Ophi's main job in this run is going to be throwing soul stones and using the thief skill Armor Corrosive, which makes enemies much more susceptible to physical attacks. And is an absolutely critical skill. We'll use that on almost every boss from here on out. All right, time to go to Sunshade and pick up Primrose, our final protagonist. Primrose is a dancer. She's from a noble family in Noble Court, but when her father was murdered, she ran away. She eventually became a dancer, maybe a stripper, maybe sex worker here in Sunshade. But she dreams of revenge against the three men with tattoos of crows who murdered her father. And so when she gets a lead on their location, she wants to go after one of them. But we're going to have to kill her pimp first. Get that encounter. That's good. This gross-looking motherfucker. A light large. And light medium. Goodbye. Okay. Now that we have all of our characters, the run can really begin in earnest. The next portion of the run is going to be, we're going to go back and forth between Ophelia and Primrose's stories. We're gonna finish Ophi's. This is my favorite movement screen in the run, by the way. Boom. We're gonna finish Ophi's story first, because her chapter 3 has the boss fight is 2 guys instead of 1 guy, and so they have kind of commensurately lower HP, and so her chapters are completable with relatively fewer resources than the other ones, and the XP that we get from finishing her chapter 4 in particular is going to be critical for learning a thief passive skill called Snatch, which is going to get us a bunch more money, which is going to be really critical. This is the Apothecary Shrine. We're not getting Alphen, obviously, but we are going to get the Apothecary Shrine. Honnet is going to be our apothecary for most of the run. Although everybody will learn some apothecary skills, there's some really important and good passive skills, but they also, apothecaries have a very powerful axe attack skill called Amputation that we're going to make really good use of. All right, here is Saint's Bridge. This is Ophelia's chapter 2, the first stop on her pilgrimage, the Kindling. See, here's the Sacred Flame, and here's Ophi doing the Kindling. Now it's bigger. We did it. Before she travels on, though, she's gonna explore the town a little bit, and true to form, we're gonna purchase Shadow Medium, Shadow Large. We're gonna find some kids here. And one of these kids is getting bullied because he has lost a brooch that belonged to one of the other kids, and they were bullying him really hard. Ophi tried to help him look for it. They couldn't find it. He ran off. we find out that this kid had been reacting badly to that because the brooch belonged to his late mother, who just died like a couple of months ago. Ophelia herself is an orphan, and so they kind of bond over it. We go back to try to apologize to Emil, but he's nowhere to be found. We find out from their other friend that he found the brooch, but it was stolen by a, quote, big dog, who then ran it out into the forest. And I'll let you judge whether this was a big dog or not. So we got to run into the dangerous forest to rescue him. We're going to be taking 2 encounters here, 1 encounter on this screen and 1 encounter on the next screen to get Primrose up to snuff. We're going to do our first big menu here. Hi. This guy, this Reptilios guy, the big lizard, is an emote in the Octopath Speedrun Discord. You see category, you click. It's a good game. Welcome on in. Wind large for this one. Okay, our first big menu here. We're gonna put everybody in their jobs here. Tressa Merchant learns Donate BP and Hired Help, and it becomes a Scholar and learns Blizzard. Bonnet learns Leg Hold Trap, and then becomes an Apothecary and learns Amputation and Last Stand. Ophelia Merchant just learned 2 skills for Endless Items, and then Thief, Armor Corrosive. And then Primrose, Merchant, Donate BP, and Hired Help. Alpin's ultimate skill is good. All right, big dog or terrifying wolf monster, you decide. This fight is scripted. Attack with spear. Defend. Defend. Attack twice with sword. Blizzard. Break. Dog's ain't blind. Kodvitnir. Armor corrosive. And defend. Alright. Collect. Get some money. Max amputation. Here's that death cleaver. It's a lot of damage. Bad turn order. She'll throw a holy light here. And now our first instance of hired help. Pay to win. Goodbye. That attack, very strong, does cost 30,000 leaves to use. So hence all of the money that we've been going and picking up. So we can't just use that over and over again. We're gonna go check in with the bishop here. See the kids on our way out of town, and that is Ophelia's chapter 2. All right. Our next destination, we're gonna go start. We're gonna go to Gold Shore, which is where Ophelia's chapter 3 takes place. We're gonna start this, but then we're gonna go off and do some other stuff here. We see a familiar face here. Is this guy Matthias, who she met in Saintsbridge, or in Flamesgrace, in her beginning town. He runs this like merchant consortium who had outfitted Liana for the kindling, for the pilgrimage. He's very devout and surely will not come up later. If you talk to him later in this chapter, he goes on and on about why bad things happened to good, faithful people. This is always a great sign. The archbishop here, or the bishop here, acting kind of sketchy. He gets this letter from this kid and freaks out. We're gonna go comfort the kid, and we find out that the archbishop, or the bishop here, in this letter, he found out that there were two guys who kidnapped his daughter, Lyra. I don't remember. And the ransom that they wanted was the ember of the first flame, this relic that Ophelia has with her. Buy these things. He collapses, and we're gonna go rescue his daughter, but we're gonna wait a while to do it. Oh wait, no, Grand Port. Don't forget to go to Grand Port here. Gotta do some shopping. That was close. We're gonna buy a bunch of pomegranates here. Pomegranates are consumable items that you use in battle to refill your boost points. And so those are extremely important. There's a large one. We'll sell that later for money. There's a large one. And then you have one of each size. Then we'll run into the bazaar here. We'll grab 2 chests in the back, a fancy painting, some dazzling artwork, and some money. Now we're gonna warp back to Swarthy Johannes' hometown. Okay. Oh no, equipment. Tressa gets the ring. Primrose gets the bracelet. Okay. Jobs. Honnet. Hunter. Arrowstorm. Warrior. First 2 skills. Support skills. Tressa gets endless items. You get cover and high senses. You get endless items. You get endless items. Okay. So we learned a couple skills there. We gave Tressa and Primrose some accessories that increase their hit points. And then we gave everybody some support skills, most notably endless items. If you have played Super Mario RPG and are familiar with the freebie mechanic, it's that. So there's a chance that if someone who has endless items equipped uses a consumable in battle, there's a chance that it won't actually be consumed. And that's going to be important to try to conserve some soul stones throughout the run. Hane also equipped Cover, which is a warrior passive, which lets her protect her allies if they are at low HP. Alright, we are going to reset encounters here. We're headed to Victor's Hollow in the Woodlands, which is where Tressa's Chapter 3 takes place. Another banger of a song in Victor's Hollow. back later. Our next stop, however, is still snow in the Winterlands. Frostlands? I don't remember what they're called in this one. I'm gonna reset here. We're not actually getting the Hunter Shrine. We do like snow, yeah. This is where Primrose's Chapter 2 takes place. She is after first the left-hand man, the man with a tattoo of a crow on his left hand, one of the 3 men who murdered her father. We'll actually be back to Still Snow later on. This is also where Honnet's Chapter 3 takes place. Oh my god. This screen is very difficult to navigate. Primrose starts looking for leads here. She starts by going to the tavern and doing a little dance. And she's noticed by this lady in the foreground here, who is Ariana. Ariana, turns out, was a servant at Primrose's family's home before her father was murdered. Now, after many hard years, she is a prostitute here in Still Snow. Mr. Shadow M. And we're gonna convince this carriage keeper to take us along with Ariana to the brothel. Because it turns out that the man who runs the brothel is, in fact, the left-hand man. We're gonna take this tavern keeper with us over here because the carriage driver owes him some money. And so that will convince him to... Oh, gonna hold B. To take us along with him. Flashbacks. We get to go in the back way here through this secret path. Cutscene trigger here, resets encounters. There is Rufus, the left-hand man. Let's go kick his ass. The sprite work in this game is so beautiful. Okay, the armor corrosive plus Rufus. Primrose, hired help mercenaries. On its spearhead. That's a defend. A spearhead is a warrior skill spear attack that forces Hanet to act first in the next rounds. Spear. Defend also makes you act at the beginning of the next round, so they get to hit with their spears and break Rufus here. Primrose defend, charge BP. Ophi uses a medium ice here. Hired help. There is that character also happens, dude, my guy. I'm just running this one. We find out that that Primrose's father was murdered for learning some secret, but we don't know what it was yet. But Primrose is told to head home to her hometown of Noblecourt for the next chapter. We wouldn't do this in an attempt here. The early Tressa route makes this unnecessary, but just for marathon safety, we're gonna run up here and get some money. The all men speedrun, I haven't learned it yet, but actually kind of fun because you end up getting a lot more gear, get a lot more weapons in that run instead of money and soul stones. You still get those things, but okay. Back to Gold Shore. Time to finish Ophelia's chapter 3 here. There's Matthias. Hello, goodbye. You don't need to talk to him. This screen can be a little tight encounter-wise. Alright, you made it. Do another save and quit here. A little mini optimization there to save from the right. Do that movement before the save and quit to make us closer to the end after the save and quit. So it turns out that these guys kidnapped the bishop's daughter, trying to ransom the Ember of the Sacred Flame for this cult leader called the Savior. Seems to worship some dark god named Galdera, who we're not going to see in this run, but you might. This is Mystery Man and Shady Figure. Okay. Primrose defends. Tressa, Palm, M, Primrose. Nice. On it, leg hold trap, Mystery Man. Ophi, armor corrosive plus Shady Figure. Leg hold trap, Mystery Man. Forces them to act at the back of the turn order next round. Armor corrosive plus Shady Figure. Okay. Primrose. Attack with dagger to break Shady Figure. Yep. Okay. On it. Three axe attacks here. Hired help bandits 2. And armor corrosive 1 on Mystery Man. Okay. Press donate BP to Primrose. That's good. On it. Axe attack, Shady Figure. Pay to win. And then large thunder. There you go. That's Mystery Man and Shady Figure. So we rescue the bishop's daughter here. So we're gonna bring her back to the cathedral. So we get to do the kindling now. We get to do the ritual. And after the kindling, who should show up but Liana, Ophelia's adoptive sister. who comes with the sad news that their father, the Archbishop Joseph, has died. And so they come here, they have some wine, but Liana has drugged the wine, and the ember of the sacred flame has been stolen. Liana steals it because the savior has where am I going now? Noble Court. The savior has promised her a way to resurrect her father. Gotta go get it back. But first, more Primrose. This is Noble Court, Primrose's hometown, where she was directed by the left-hand man. This is where the right-hand man lives. In Noble Court, there's the right-hand man. In Noble Court, we run into this guy, Simeon, who is definitely a smooth operator. They were childhood friends and ex-lovers. And I'm sure this will be fine. Back to business. We meet this guy who was lieutenant in the city watch under Captain Albus, who was there during Primrose's Father's Day. Kind of tells her that the town has been taken over by these the Obsidians, who are the crows, basically. And so he's going to take us to the entrance to their mansion here, so we can go take care of the right-hand man. Chest here. A weird thing about these kind of indoor dungeons, these manses, is that screen transitions don't actually reset your encounters here. So after this menu, we're going to go back through and then save and quit. All right. Jobs, Tressa, Apothecary. First 3 skills and then back to Scholar. We're getting everybody that passive skill called Hale and Hardy, which gives you 500 extra HP. Back to Merchant, Ophelia, Apothecary, first 3 skills, and also Warrior. We're going to the first 2 skills and get cover, and then back to Thief, and then Honnet, Apothecary, and we're going to Rehabilitate. Okay, and then Tressa gets Hale and Hardy. You get Hale and Hardy, you get cover and Hale and Hardy, and you get Hale and Hardy. Oh, nope. Healing. There we go. That auto saves, so we'll save and quit back to the title screen to reset our encounters and keep going. I'm making this look easy. I appreciate that. Please hold your applause until we get through Simeon. Oh, boo. I disagree. Well, all right. It's fine. It's annoying, but it's fine. We're chilling. My movement was not as tight through this screen as it could have been. There we go. Turns out that Albus is the right-hand man, the old captain of the guard. Who could have seen this coming? Primrose, light, medium, soul stone. On it, leg hold trap. Ophi, Armor Corrosive Plus. Tressa, Palm M Self. Okay, we're actually going to use, we're not going to break, we're actually going to use hired help to help us break here. Okay, Primrose is going to Lion Dance Haunted, which increases her attack power. Ophi is after Tressa here, so we're going to Palm M Tressa. On it, Rain of Arrows to break. Okay, Tressa, Max Collect. On it, Max Amputate. Oh. Primrose, Hired Help. And that's Albus. Okay. What we see there, what you missed there, is that Simeon comes out of the shadows there. He's the head of the crow. Oh my God, who could have seen this coming? He stabs Primrose, and so her next stop is back to Everhold, where there is this big auditorium. Simeon is a playwright, and he's kind of made that his base. Okay. Time to finish our first story. We're headed to Ophelia's chapter 4 up here in a town called Whispermill. We're going to pick up a chest here along the way. Something that we're going to sell for money. We're going to get a unskippable encounter here. We actually taught Hanet the hunter skill Arrow Storm for the reason of this encounter and this encounter only. Give me Hanet early. Hanet last. Great. It's fine. This is totally safe, but... Storm can break them both at once, so we can run away. We are going to need to heal Tressa. Whispermill is creepy. There's a cult here. There was a plague here some time ago that the priests did nothing about, and so it let this cult of the savior kind of grow up there. So Ophi is kind of given this the cold shoulder when she gets here. Nobody will talk to her. Do a little sell. Bad vibes only is correct. All right, we're gonna sell all of all the valuables that we've been picking up, because we need to use a bunch of vets in the Matthias fight. Oh, spoiler, Matthias is the savior. Ophi is tricked here with the promise of another child to save. This is kind of her MO. She's thrown into jail, and there he is. Oh my God, Matthias is the savior. He's trying to bring back Galdera to give himself more power. Liana turns up, is feeling guilty, lets Ophelia out of prison, but is committed to her role in the ritual that's going to take place to get Matthias more power from Galdera. Like I said earlier, I started running this game with Ophelia single story, and so very familiar with this chapter. It was the end of the run. This fight is one of two-part boss fights in this run, where before you fight Matthias, you have to fight some cultists. These cultists can just kill you if they want. They can also use soul stones, which I think is cheating, frankly. But there are 3 of them, and if 2 of them throw soul stones at you, you're dead, and there's nothing you can do about it. and you just have to start over. But luckily, there's a saving point right here. No. You gotta return to the title screen to reset your encounters there. So we got one more chest to get. Like I said, we need a lot of money for Matthias. We need to use hired help veterans 4 times. Oh, it's those fringe cult towns, man. Yeah. Cities are where it's at. Be music. Okay. Hired help mercenaries. Alright, no soul stones. No soul stones. No more soul stones. It's fine. Nah, okay. See? There's nothing you can do about it. They can just decide to kill you. Which is really brutal when this is the last chapter in the run. And you're on pace, and the cultists decide to be assholes. Really sucks. There's some RNG in the Matthias fight, too, in Opie's single story, and he can just decide to kill you as well. And in this one, too. Defend. Damn it. Come on. Attack. Attack. Okay. Whatever. We try again. Like I said, you gotta be either comfortable with or numb to the RNG to speedrun this game. 3rd time's the charm. At least this is quick to reset. Hired help, mercenaries. Okay. Okay. We're good. Alright. Alright, now we're fine. Last stand. All of them. And a Thunder Large. You could be higher level. This is a speed run, my guy. We're trying to go fast here. All these villagers are dead. Oh no. Flashback to our childhood. It's too bad. We're gonna go right through it, but there is some very cool dialogue in the middle of this fight. We'll listen to it. We'll listen to it. It's fun. You know the truth. She will never again know the happiness she once did. Why do you rob your sister of the hope I offer her? What else does she have but that futile wish? He still has so much more, whether she sees it or not. Every tie you have to another person, small though it might be, will help you rise again when you have fallen. Hanet defends. Okay, we're good now. Primrose, Palm, L, Self. Tressa, Blizzard. If he uses Consuming Darkness first, it's safe. And Armor Corrosive Plus, because if he tries to double tap Tressa there, then Opie or Hanet will cover her. Okay, attack twice with Axe to Great. Okay. L. Tressa. Tressa, nice. Whatever, doesn't matter. Amputation. That's... And that's Matthias. And that is Ophelia's story. Now we come to the bit that makes and breaks the run. This is Primrose 4. This chapter is long. And it ends with Simeon, which is by a long shot. Shoutouts to the long shots. The hardest boss fight in the run. I like the English voice acting too. I'll have no bad mouthing of voice actors in this stream while I'm running, thank you. But the Japanese voice acting is very good. All right. Back to Everhold for Primrose's Chapter 4. This is where the run lives and dies. Simeon is by far the hardest boss in the run. It is very technical. If you die in the second phase, you go back to going before the first phase. But Simeon is a playwright, and so he's kind of set up his base of operations here in Everhold, where there's a big amphitheater, and he has written a play that is just Primrose's life, which is just an incredibly fucked up thing to do. We will not be living and let living with the man who murdered Primrose's father. You can get right out of here with that. All right, we're gonna get that large firestone and this money, and then we're actually gonna warp back to Everhold here. Do a little bit of selling. Sell these items that we got here. Did we get monster perfume? No. We didn't do this at the beginning because starting Primrose's story started us here. Doing these things in this order skips some running back there, and also lets us get those 2 items there in that top level that we wouldn't get otherwise, and lets us skip an encounter. Go up the stairs! Oh my god. Alright, big menu here. Jobs, on it, merchant. First 2 skills. Warrior, 1,000 spears. Back to apothecary. Tressa, thief. First 4 skills and Firestorm. Primrose. First 2 dancer skills for the show goes on. And then thief. We're not going to use all these thief skills, but we are going to use Fleetfoot and Snatch, those passive skills that we learned. And then Ophelia, back to being a thief. We need the first 2 skills and Steal SP. Okay. Passives. Tressa gets evasive maneuvers here in Snatch and Fleetfoot. Haunted, we can remove evasive maneuvers, endless items, and summon strength. Ophelia gets Snatch. Primrose gets the show goes on, and Snatch and Fleetfoot. Okay, reset. Not only is Simeon the most technical of the boss fights, and it's very punishing if you lose, there's also just a thing that can happen that I simply do not have a backup for, and so just have to restart the fight if it happens. Hopefully it won't happen. It's a pretty low percentage chance. We're looking for no poison. Simeon phase 1 can die too early. Normally this screen transition wouldn't reset encounters in this kind of dungeon, but we get the cutscene that does. We're going to pick up this bright stone, which is going to be a very important accessory for Honnet in the final fight. Okay. We're going to do a safety save. All right, here we go. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. Primrose, I think, has to... Primrose has to defend here, I think. This might be bad. Ah, shit. I think Tressa is after Simeon. Don't think I can save this. Yeah, I don't think I can save this. We're just gonna bail. Just a bad turn order. Yo, thank you for the gifted subs. That's okay. That's why we have the safety save. Dying right at the beginning of that is fine. When we don't want to die is at the end of phase 2 or end of phase 1 or in phase 2. Beginning, it's fine. Okay, this is fine. Hired help, mercenaries. Which increases our defense, which makes us much better to survive here. Okay, we're all right. On it. Leg hold trap, Simeon. OP attacks Simeon twice with staff. Tressa Firestorm. Okay. Armor corrosive Simeon. That's fine. Hired help bandits to break. It's an axe attack. On it, Tom L. Primrose. Tressa attacks Simeon with spear to break. All right. That's. And that's. And under L. Oh, nice. And max amputate. Okay, no poison. That's good. Okay, you collect. That's really important. That's why he can't have a poison tick, because we need to do that collect there. Donate 2 BP to Honnet. Honnet defends. Steal for a soul stone. And then finish him off. Another large soul stone. Okay. Here we go. Press up. Palm M. Primrose. Primrose defends. That's fine. On it, Palm M. Ophelia. Okay, cover. And then Steel SP. Double dagger attack. Primrose, max attack with dagger to break. On it, Palm L. Primrose. Nice dupe. Tressa, Herb of Clamor Primrose to cure silence. Ophi defend. Ophi. Nope. Armor corrosive. Honnet, rehabilitate Primrose. That's important. Tressa, max vets. Primrose, Lion Dance plus Honnet. Oh yeah, that's the mobile game Champions of the Continent is also Octopath Zero in non-gacha form. Okay, Tressa, Herb of Clamor, Self. Ophi defends. Primrose, max mercenaries. Before shields off. On it, Herb of Clamor, Self. Okay, Ophi, 4 sword attacks to break. Merchants, donate BP to each other. On it. Max amputate. Hired help. It's all out, baby. Thunder large. And there we go. Let's go. Woo! All right. We can all breathe now. I'm so glad that went well. You have no idea. That is the part that I was the most worried about in this whole run. Everything else is gravy. Okay. Whew. All right. We're done with Ophi. We're done with Primrose. We're going to finish up Tressa now. Back to Quarry Crest. Try to sell our soul stones. Thank you for the GGs, everybody. We get one-upped by this kid Ali who comes in and kind of undercuts our prices. Teaches us a lesson. But then here's Morlock and his man Omar. Ali claims he's a one-man army but gets his ass kicked and gets kidnapped, so we're gonna go rescue him. Sell some stuff. Sell rare stone. Sell silver-filled pouch. Sell vendetta coat. Sell mental belt. Sell stimulating bracelet. Nanolife, I can't believe you're in here defending billionaires. Just to be edgy. Ridiculous. Luckily, we're back in Chapter 2 land, so random encounters are easy to run away with now for a little while. Or easy to run away from for a little while. M. Conscious Stone, along with the Bright Stone, very important accessories for Haunted during Chapter 4, right at the end of the fight, right at the end of the fight at the end of the game. It's going to be another random encounter here. It is. Run away. Alright, let's melt a Chapter 2 boss. Primrose defend. Tressa Blizzard. Honnet, Palm S Honnet. Or Palm S Tressa, rather. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, Primrose, attack with dagger to break. Ophi, Holy Light. And goodbye. Yo, we made up time on that split. Let's go. All right. We rescue Ali. Ali tells us about a thing called the Merchant's Fair in Grandport, a big event. And so we're going to make it there eventually, but we're going to go to Victor's Hollow first, which is the next entry in Tressa's journal, remember. But we got to find something. We got to find a special treasure to sell at the merchant, or to enter into the Merchant's Fair here. That antique dealer has a treasure map, which is cool. He won't give it to us though. But Leon is here, the merchant from her Chapter 1, and tells us that the treasure map was drawn by his friend, the pirate Balthazar. And so we're gonna buy Ed Bart's shield, a rare item that just happens to be for sale here in town, and we're gonna trade it for that treasure map. The treasure map allegedly goes to a chest that Balthazar buried containing a rare mineral called Eldrite, which would be a worthy prize for the Merchant's Fair. Mick and Mac work for Leon now, by the way. It's fine. It's actually fine. Leon and Balthazar used to race, I guess. I get big Our Flag Means Death vibes from these two. That is 100% me reading into it. That is not in the text at all. But if you know, you know. Okay, menu, Tressa, Warrior. We need Insight, and we need 1,000 Spears. Okay. That's an important menu. That one's bolded in my notes because I've missed it before. The Eldrite just so happens, conveniently enough, to be buried nearby. This is a very difficult screen movement-wise because it's so dark. And it's just ends up being really difficult to skip the encounter later on in this screen. We're going to save and quit here. Because we have to get a chest here with some money in it. Sorry if you can hear the sirens. We have to get this chest here and money, and it's just a long run that we have to do, and getting this encounter just happens a bunch, and it kind of sucks. Let's see if we can skip it today. Yep, speed police. Nice, let's go. Oh no, a big tiger. Okay, Haunted, Rain of Arrows. Primrose, Lion Dance, Haunted. Oh, wow. Holy shit. That's bad, actually. That's bad. That happened too early. This is over. You know what? This is fun. I didn't think I'd get to say this, but it's a marathon. That's never happened before. I get to say the thing. Oh, that's fun. I'm glad I got to say the thing. You have to be really careful about when you break bosses, because if you break them too early, like I would not have had the... I need to be able to do all of my damage in that fight on turn 3. I maybe could have salvaged it, but... Now I have to do this run again. Rain of Arrows is guaranteed to hit 3 times. I have never seen it hit 6 before. That's wild. We did not plan this behind the scenes. No. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? Lion Dance 1. Yeah, Lion Dance 1 on it. Armor Corrosive Plus. Rain of Arrows. That's more like it. Press to defend. Now we break with 1,000 Spears. Also guaranteed to hit 3 times. Okay, Palm M Haunted. And a Wind Large. I'm behind on my Soulstone tracking here. Max Collect. This tiger has 32,000 leaves. Max Bets. Thunder Medium. There we go. We get the Eldrite and a letter from Balthazar, which we give to Leon. He gets to reminisce a little bit more. As we head to the Merchant's Fair in Chapter 4, Leon leaves Tressa with the question, what is your greatest treasure? And that's what she should enter in the Merchant's Fair. And spoiler alert, the greatest treasure is not the Eldrite, not the gem that we just got, but it is... Oh, where are you going? It is her memories of her journey. It is, and the journal. It is her greatest treasure is literally the friends we made along the way. Which is fun. It was the One Piece. The Merchant's Fair is run by this billionaire guy. He buys the most interesting thing and gives it to his daughter. This happens to be his daughter. She's very sick and doesn't get to travel around very much. Okay. Tressa, Merchant. You get rest and sidestep. And go back to warrior. On it. Merchant. 2 skills. We're getting hang tough here, which is a passive skill that allows you to survive an otherwise fatal attack at 1 HP. Ophi, 2 skills for hang tough and thief, and Primrose back to merchant, and you get any skill and sidestep. Okay. Tressa, remove hail and hardy, hang tough over fleetfoot and cover. Haunted, remove cover. You get grows on trees over hail and hardy and hang tough. Ophi gets hang tough over cover, and Primrose gets hang tough over hail and hardy. Good. Okay. Probably all the cash she scrounged off of dead people. That's fair, too. Tressa's Chapter 4 is a little weak. She goes to the shore to read her journal, and the journal is stolen by this lady, Esmeralda, because she thinks it's valuable. We run into Ali over here, too, and he decides that he's going to help us get it back from this shady lady and this shady guy. Would you like to know more about them? Tough. You don't get to. They're shady. That's it. Ali is going to distract a guy while we follow Esmeralda into the Grand Port sewers here. All right, we're going to get some extra soul stones here for safety. We're actually... I think we're okay on soul stones, but I'm not trusting my tracker right now. My counts have been off. So there's a Thunder L. We're gonna pick up this Wind L here. The Thunder L again. The Wind L is back here. Yo, thank you for the raid. Welcome on in. My name is Tylersalt. We're running Octopath Traveler today. Thank you for joining us on NissanTV. Esmeralda stole this journal because she thought it was valuable, but turns out it's worth nothing. It sucks, and she's gonna kill us about it. Attack with spear. Leg hold trap. Fine. This is all fine. Attack with staff. Attack with spear. Leg hold trap again. Primrose can't attack because of red knife, so she's got the trade winds to break. Tressa uses Insight, which is a warrior skill that draws the attacks to her. So she's gonna die to Esme's big attack in a couple rounds. Ophi defends. Okay. Ophi armor corrosive plus. Look familiar? Probably should. Veterans. Max collect. On it. Max amputate. Esme is going to do a really powerful attack here that would kill everybody, but instead it's only going to kill Tressa. So now we can Rain of Arrows. Primrose. Don't. Ooh, that's interesting. No, I was looking ahead. This is fine. Okay, don't. Lion Dance, high. Looking ahead in my notes. Okay, and then Ophi, Olive of Life, Tressa. On it, Rain of Arrows to break. Primrose needs to donate BP to Tressa, but she's down. It's because you're looking at the wrong turn in your notes, you numpty. Donate Primrose. Ophi, Max Steel. We're going to sell that. Donate BP to Tressa. All out. Amputation. Large Windstone. Max Vets. And Max Vets. That's Esmeralda. That is Tressa's chapters. Tressa's story. So Tressa decides that her journal is, in fact, her greatest treasure. She's not going to enter the Eldrite into the Merchant's Fair. She enters the journal. Her whole thing is about merchants or about giving their customers what they need. And this journal, with all of its stories of travel, is perfect for this young woman who can't travel because of her illness. She wants it. They buy it. She gets this prize of 1 billion leaves and puts it in a trust fund for herself because she's a good investor. Good job, Tressa. Hey, remember a couple of hours ago when we were talking about Honnet's Chapter 2? We're actually, no joke, going to do Honnet's Chapter 2 now. Remember, Honnet is looking for her master, the hunter Zonta, who has been hunting a dangerous beast named Red Eye for many months at this point. There's his animal companion. This woman, Natalia, seems to know Hagen, the animal companion, but she's being accosted by some loser, and so we're going to fix it with violence. Fire large. Nice, that's good. Fire large. And we'll do a thunder medium. Natalia seems to know Zonta's animal companion because they were fucking. Turns out. Zonta, the last time she saw Zonta, he was headed back into the woods here to hunting Red Eye in town. Don't forget to do this shop. Sell all these rune knives and sell Omar's axe. Don't forget to do this menu. Jobs, Tressa, Scholar, support skills. Ophelia gets cover over Snatch. Okay, let me do... I don't trust my count here. 1 fire medium, 1 fire large, 1 thunder medium, 2 thunder larges, 1 light large, 1 light large, 3 and 3. Okay. So we need a light medium soulstone. Which we can perch from this lady here. Okay. That was mostly correct. Time for the funniest provoke in the game. Maybe the funniest half action interaction period. Oh no, the way is blocked. We gotta go. We gotta go around. Oh no, we smell a monster. What's the monster? It's this vicious tree. Let's see, fire large, because we got that extra one. And then fire medium, right? No. Thunder medium. And I've got an extra shadow. Now I've got an extra shadow. Okay. And we never speak of it again. Probably get an encounter here, but as this is chapter 2, it's fine. Oh, so close. We find a fletching from one of Zanta's arrows. Oh no. Lord of the Forest. Primrose defend. Tressa firestorm. Ophi attack. Lord of the Forest twice with sword. Honnet, Palm, M, Primrose. Primrose, hired help, bandits, 3. Honnet, a clean amputation here. Armor corrosive. Donate Primrose. Primrose. Max amputation. Primrose max collect. Nope, collect. And a Thunder Large to do it. Well, it's probably fine. It's just fat fingered it. It's fine. I got a freebie there, so it's okay. This is why we get the extras. I think I can spare that too. Okay. Unfortunate little fat finger there. Defended instead of using the soul stone. Okay. Which means we gotta buy some extra large soul stones from this guy. An extra shadow and an extra light. So we find behind the Lord of the Forest, we find Zonta has been petrified by Red Eye. He leaves this note for Hanet. We run into Eliza from the Knights Ardent there. She is going to go track down Red Eye while we try to get a cure for petrification from a seer in Still Snow. And we're gonna head there right now. Should be good on pomegranates. I should have checked it earlier. Yeah, we're fine. Way fine. All right. So there are a bunch of people in front of the seer's house. They want to get in. This guy is blocking them. We are going to solve this problem once again with violence. Oh, you are gonna die. Fine. Did she not level up? Why was she so low? I'm gonna have to heal again. I'm gonna say it again. This has also never happened before. Good dupe there. Turns out Susanna, like all seers, is a fraud. But she does know that in the Winterwood out back of town, you can get Herb of Grace, which we can use to make anti-petrification poisons, which Hanet in-game will need, and we in the speedrun will not. Snow leopards, bow or fire. Okay, we can run away from this. We could have arrow stormed there. This is fine. Okay. Okay. This is another screen where it is pretty possible to get an encounter. Can we do this? Bow can break those guys. Let's see. You want to freaking out here. I guess trade wins this guy. Okay, we've got a plan. I don't know that it's a good plan, but it's a plan. Alright, as long as this guy doesn't... Okay, this is fine. This is fine. Okay, good. Now you can attack this guy. And you can trade wins this guy, and we can run away. Alright, that was a little sketchy, but we did it. Hana has a flashback to Zanta telling her a story as a little girl. Baby Hana, it's so cute, about killing a dragon. Because there's a dragon here. Okay, Tressa, Palm, M, Primrose. She's first on turn 2. Armor Corrosive, +1. Primrose, Light M. Light M. Hanet defends. Hanet break with axe. First merchant is Primrose. Hired help vets. Opie Palm L Hanet. Palm L Hanet. Tressa Palm M Primrose. Nice. The dupe. Elect. Max amputate, max vets. All right. Well, it's officially not going to be a PB. My PB is 2:11:58. But it wasn't going to be one for a while, so it's fine. So we get the Herb of Grace. Nobody PBs in marathons anyway, exactly. And as we head out of town here, we are going to be found by a messenger from the Knights Ardent saying that Eliza has located Red Eye in the desert city, or outside the desert city of Marceline. Our final stop. This is the final chapter, folks. We did it. We made it here together. Up. Yeah, so Nissan, we got about 10 more minutes or so. So it turns out that Red Eye is here in the ruins outside Marceline. The king has sent a hunting party to take down Red Eye, and they are decimated. They are destroyed. Are there any good Pokemons to use in this game? Not in the speedrun. I'm gonna sell this. Oh wait, hold on. We gotta equip Haunted, unequip all. Thank you to all of this good stuff. Brightstone, Conscious Stone. We don't need to do damage with weapons anymore, so we're gonna sell it instead. We actually don't really need to sell any of this because we got that extra money. Okay, I'm just gonna double check our soulstone count. Yeah, we got plenty of larges. I have a thunder large that I didn't have on there. All right, we've reached the final dungeon. We're going to save here. The game hasn't actually auto-saved since before the first, like, since not even before the Winterwood, but before the path on the way to the Winter. What are you doing, dude? You know what? Let's just do this. Good thing we saved. Total wrong turn. It's fine. And if you die on this screen, then you get taken back all the way into like the middle of Hannes chapter 3. I learned that the hard way. Getting an encounter on this screen is very rare, but it has happened. Doing this to reset our encounters. If you die on the screen, the speedrun dies in real life. Well, not anymore, because we saved. But yes. If you don't save, then yes. Okay, one final save and quit. One final kind of sweaty run. Try to dodge our final encounter of the game. Nice. All right. Now, Red Eye. Here we go. This guy changes his defenses every turn. Okay, Haunted defend. Ophi, Palm, M, Self. Those eyes sure are red. Primrose, donate, Haunted. That's right. Primrose, donate, Haunted. Yep. Okay, Tressa. We'll use this light large because we got it. On it. We know what the vulnerabilities are. They change every turn, but they are scripted, so we know what they are. Primrose, Sidestep. We're going to use Sidestep on Tressa and Primrose here, which makes them dodge the next attack that would hit them. Armor Corrosive 2. Okay. On it. Rehabilitate Ophelia. Okay, good. Primrose. Vets. Ophi, Healing Great Brunch. Healing Great Brunch brings Tressa to just high enough HP that Hang Tough will work again. Okay, that's round 1. Sidestep. First merchant, Palm L. Second merchant. Bonnet, defend. Second merchant, max collect. 60 grand. Ophi, attack with staff 4 times. Bonnet, attack with staff, attack with axe 3 times. Break. Donate. Donate. And we're just gonna, we've got the extra larges, so we're gonna use them. We might even get an early kill here. Here we go. Last round. Max vets. Any large soul stone. Max vets. Maybe we die here, right here? Maybe we kill? Yes, nice. All right, this is not time. Time is on the filling of the second cutscene skip bar here. That's 1. And time. That is Octopath Traveler, all female character stories, all the ladies. Woo! We even made up time on that last split. Let's go. Thank you for the GGs. Malmo, Nam, JJ, Joshua, Amanda, Sino, Nissan, British Duckling. Thank you for the GGs, everybody. Really enjoy. Really glad that you enjoyed this. I was able to do this. This is my first speedrun in a marathon ever. I'm couldn't be happier with the way that it went. Try next. Thank you for the GGs. Mixall, thank you for the GGs. Lemates, yeah, went super well. Simeon went super cleanly. I have some shout outs. Huge thank you to Yakopu, who made the notes for the all women early Tressa route that I've been using. They have done a ton of work into routing this category with Tressa early, and have helped me in figure out some mistakes that I was making and catching some bugs back and forth. They put in a ton of work on this. And then shout outs to the entire Octopath speedrunning community. They've been very welcoming as I have joined the community relatively recently. They've been put on some great shows on marathons, other marathons that you may have seen. If you like Octopath Traveler 1, if you like this run, stay tuned to the kind of speedrunning space there. As I said, this year is the 8th anniversary of Octopath Traveler 1 coming out, so there might be some stuff in the offering this summer. That hasn't been officially announced yet, but stay tuned for that. The Octoversary, exactly. Yatagami, thank you for the GGs. But that is me. Once again, my name is Tylersalt. I speedrun Octopath Traveler. I play a lot of like the past randomizer as well. Those are the two things that you'll generally see on my channel. Again, so much huge thanks to Nissan for having me today. Torhel, thank you for the GGs. And yeah, this went super great. I couldn't be happier with the way that this went. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, Nissan. Really appreciate it. And thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching.